This is one of my favorite topics because, contrary to popular belief, working harder, struggling, putting in more hours, putting more things on your to-do list are not the things that actually make you successful. I might get in trouble for this one, and that's why I really like this topic. It's so much about your energy more than anything else. If you're coming to the table needy, greedy, wanting money more than anything else, or if you're thinking work has to be hard, that I have to struggle in order to be successful, it's whatever's happening between those two temples will dramatically affect your success. So today, I'm going to share with you what I do, and I swear you just have to experiment and try it yourself to know it to be true for you. Is that whenever I do these certain things, I notice an uptick in my followers. I notice an uptick in my revenue. I notice more people are interested in what I'm talking about. It is uncanny, unreal, weird, creepy, magical, wonderful. I don't know. You decide the word you want to use. Having a very weird hair day today. Anyways, so here's what I do. When I'm in the right energy, things just flow. Like, let's see. I'd like to say this is probably like thousands and thousands of years of truth. Okay, so first of all, what you need to know is the brain does not know the difference between what we call 3D reality and what you imagine in your head. The brain, and let me give you an example. So, was this last weekend, I was at a friend's house and they had an Oculus, which is Facebook's virtual reality game machine, whatever. I put on this Oculus, and one of the very first things you do to kind of get into the virtual reality space is you can take a elevator up to the top of a building and you walk the plank. So all it is the elevator doors open and there's this very thin piece of wood leading out into a huge city, and you're at the top of a high-rise building. And the idea is you are supposed to jump off of this plank. Now, my entire body was saying, this is dangerous, this is scary, I can't do it. All while I know for certain that I am in a living room on solid ground, that there is no plummeting depth below me. I know this cognitively, but what I am seeing, what I am envisioning is being at the top of a building and having to leap off. It took me a while to do it. Like, I had to get over my fears, my anxieties. All this to say, all this to prove the point that whatever you imagine, your brain does not know the difference between its fantasy, imagination, and reality. So what is this doing? So I do this very often. I can't claim I do it every morning. I wish. That's what I strive for. But I think the key is also not to wait until things get bad, rough, wrong, challenging, depleting, etc., but to keep building this muscle up and up and up and up and up. So what I do in the mornings is I visualize. I see in my mind's eye, first I see it. I mean, this is difficult. Some people are thinkers, some people are feelers, some people see images. Like, you have to, some people like to write, so it's up to you how you want to give your brain the stimulus of this, what you envision your dream to be. For me, I visualize. I can see it in front of me. I see the people around me. I try and get into even what it would feel like, taste like, smell like, wind on my face. Like, I really have a huge dream to live by the beach one day. And so I will stand out on my balcony and feel the ocean breeze on my face. My husband will be standing next to me. We'll be like laughing and enjoying the view and the scene. And I feel the feelings. You also very much have to feel the feeling of what it would be like if it were true, to the best of your ability. So this is why, like, you might want to go to a fancier hotel or a fancy restaurant and just be in that energy. Then you kind of get a flavor of what that would feel like. Go test drive a luxury car, just so you can get the kinesthetic and the feeling of what that would be like, so that you can put it now into your visualization and your imagination. So you sit, and I sit and I do this for about 20 minutes. You can do it for less, but that's around the time frame that really like gets me immersed and sponged up in that good visualization and energy. So I'll imagine my clients walking towards me. I'll imagine my clients telling me about all of their successes. I'll imagine the beach house. I'll imagine the money falling into my bank account. All of these things that are so essential to see, feel, touch, taste, all that. Again, your brain doesn't know the difference between what you consider your 3D reality. It's like putting on the Oculus and creating whatever reality you want. And it's just like if while you're dreaming, while you're in the dream, you think the dream is very real, and then you come out of the dream and then you're in this what feels very real reality. So why not go into a reality that feels very real in your mind's eye, visualize it, again, get into the feeling of it, so that there's certain things going on in your brain and in your physicality. Smile across your face. Like, I've done this to the depth of where I'll start crying because I'm so happy, and it's about feeling those feelings. And then all of a sudden, your environment around you, you'll see different things, you'll hear different opportunities. Some things feel like they're coming out of the blue. And if you need a little bit of science behind it, your brain has something called the reticular activating system. And it was told to me in the story of like, or have you ever learned a new word or wanted to buy a new car and you never really saw that car on the road before, and then all of a sudden you see that particular car everywhere. It's in the parking lot, your friend is talking about it, you see it on TV, or you learn a new word and then all of a sudden you've never heard this word before and you read it in a book, they say it on the news, It's because your brain is doing this anyways, by the way, so you might as well use it for your benefit. It's narrowing in focus to prove whatever you believe to be true. So if you say, this is hard and I have to struggle and I'm never going to make any money, well, your mind will then look for evidence of that belief so that it can be reinforced. And this is all just to protect you. Thank you, brain, for trying to protect me. But if you're like, I will only be successful, here's what it looks like, here's what it feels like, then your brain will start to gather evidence for that to be true. So that's kind of what's going on here scientifically, if you will, if you need a little science to back it up. So you then start seeing opportunities where you may have just missed it. It would have been out of your scope of reality. You wouldn't see the opportunity. You wouldn't pick up the conversation of the people next to you talking about X, Y, and Z that you were just putting yourself in the vibration of, okay? And it's all energy. At the end of the day, I know you guys understand this because you're in this particular Facebook group, which makes sense. So it's all energy. All of it, all of it, all of it. And the world will meet you wherever you are. So what if I told you your only job was to feel good and to be in the energy that would attract these opportunities to you? And I'm not saying you just sit there on the couch and own your way to success. No, you'll just start to see new visions, new possibilities. Again, you'll overhear conversations. You'll be like, all of a sudden it'll pop in your head like, why don't I reach out to so-and-so? I knew they were connected with that person in the past. And then you write the email from a place of love and feeling good, and then people pick up on that. Just like these interactions here, like, I could be in a bad mood right now and you'd feel it. You wouldn't want to be listening to this. So get into a habit of visualizing your desires in your head, the feeling of it. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, all of our desires, everything we want to do, is ultimately because of the way we think it'll make us feel. So why not just feel that way now? And Wayne Dyer says it, instead of you'll believe it when you see it, you'll see it when you believe it. So the more and more you can get yourself mentally, emotionally, physically into the vision of what you want to create, the easier and easier it will become to create that reality. And like I said, if you need the science behind it, look up reticular activating system, and this is what your brain does. And you can rewire. You can rewire the brain, and it's whatever connections were made in the past, maybe from your past experiences, they never actually go away. The light just gets dimmed on it, and the more you put attention onto the vision, this lights up even more. It's like you're turning up the volume, you're turning up the level of light for this vision, and you start to see things through another lens. And it's like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work, Jessica. You're doing it already. You are manifesting already. You are visualizing already. So why not do it in a way that helps you rather than hurts you? Let me just let that land for a second. You should do the things that are going to lift you and help you versus take you out. Now, there's thoughts. I get it. I get them too. Oh, this is hard. I can't do this. I get them all. Believe me, I've not arrived in any sense of the word. So it's just a matter of like letting that thought happen, and then you're like, okay, what do I want to think next? I get to decide. And so keep those visualizations going, keep them strong, be in the energy of that. Do it consistently, even for, I don't know, a week, and you'll start to see things shift. Do your best. And then a lot of people think they have to be like the total, like when it gets hard, like, oh, I don't believe it. Like when I'm in the total opposite of what's going on right now, like I'm not talking about toxic positivity. Sometimes you just need a state change. Change your state. So if you're feeling poopy, which happens, and it's totally natural and normal, you're a freaking human being, what can you do to pull yourself out of that? Sometimes you need to go through it. Sometimes you need to feel all the feelings until you get to the end, and then there's an opening. Sometimes you're just like, you're in a funk because you put yourself there. And that's when, and I'm not talking about like clinical anxiety or depression. I'm just talking like you're in a funk, you can't seem to move through, you can't focus, blah, blah, blah. You can then like, maybe you just need to listen to comedy. I've done that. Sebastian Maniscalco, hilarious. Just go turn on one of his Netflix specials for a couple minutes and you'll be like, ha ha ha, life's not so serious. Okay. Or maybe you need to go dance. Maybe you need to go outside and feel the sunshine on your face. Like whatever you need to do to get that state change, go do it. Don't wait. Like, let me get through these 3 to-dos and then it won't be. You'll just sit there for 3 hours doing work that could have taken you 15 minutes if you had given yourself a state change. Because you'll start to disassociate. You'll be like, oh, okay. So I want all of you, if you're committed to doing some visualizations for a week, do it for a week, and then I want to know what happens. And like really commit to it. Like, get into the feeling of it. And I know we did a couple of them during our brand glow up party back in spring. So I don't know if those are still live. If they are, go watch them because they're really juicy and delicious. If not, make sure next time we have one, make sure you show up and then I'll do an example of what that's like, okay? I love you all so much. Commit to doing some visualizations for the next week. And I can't wait to hear how it all works out for you. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.